Do you commit that the United States will remain a member of NATO while you're in office?
Again, they have to pay their bills. If they pay their bills, absolutely.
But not if they don't pay their bills.
But NATO's taken advantage of us because we were, look, two things. Number one, they take advantage of us on trade, meaning the European nations, okay, like terrible. They don't take our cars, they don't take our food product, they don't take anything. It's a disgrace. And on top of that, we defend them. So it's a double whammy. So let me just tell you, I was able to get hundreds of billions of dollars put into NATO just by a tough attitude. I said to the countries, I'm not going to protect you unless you pay. And they started paying. If they're paying their bills, and if I think they're doing they're treating us fairly, the answer is absolutely, I'd stay with NATO.
But if not, you would consider the possibility of
absolutely, yeah.
So the same, you could just rerun an interview from, 8 years ago or something. This is the same talking points about NATO and money and bills and so on and so forth. In case, though, it needed any further proving, here's how Trump responded following his meeting in Paris with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Russia and Iran are in a weakened state right now, one because of Ukraine and a bad economy, the other because of Israel and its fighting success. Likewise, Zelensky and Ukraine would like to make a deal, stop the madness. They have ridiculously lost 400,000 soldiers and many more civilians. There should be an immediate ceasefire and negotiations should begin. Too many lives are being so needlessly wasted, too many families destroyed. And if it keeps going, it can turn into something much bigger, far worse. I know Vladimir well. I think he knows you well. I think actually he knows you well, okay? This is his time to act. China can help. The world is waiting. The comments are cringy because Donald Trump, we all know, is being played on the world stage by some of the most infamous dictators of all time. He now, as you said he would, and many others predicted, wants to claim complete control over the process. He said he would end the war within 24 hours. Zelensky looked like a hostage next to Trump. He's in very treacherous territory. What do you make of the statements? And what do you make of the meeting and Trump calling specifically upon Putin and China to help?
But I don't know what he means by this is the time to act.
Yeah.
Like he invaded a country. What do you think his definition of action is? Like, are you going to divide up the Ukraine? If you are, then do it, because there's already no Crimea in Ukraine. But the main why NATO? Why does NATO exist? Okay, we fought, we didn't fight, but we had a Cold War with Russia because they like this part of the world and they were expanding. We were afraid that communism would replace capitalism, and they didn't like. It was there's a lot of ways to analyze it, but basically after World War II, these were the big powers and they were, fighting over territory with two completely different economic systems. The Western people came together and were like, stop encroaching USSR. And they were like, stop encroaching America. So we have NATO, which is essentially like all our role boys who are like, you attack one of us, it's gonna be World War III. In Ukraine was going to become part of NATO, and Vlad was like, that was one of our old Soviet socialist republics. And so before they join, he's making all these grabs and he's kicking the tires to see the resolve of America. When are we going to go to a huge war? Okay, so that is the actual geopolitical stuff. All Trump understands is a negotiation, right? So he probably just asked, what do they want? What do I want? What do we want? I'm gonna fight. Oh, and then how am I gonna sell this to my shareholders in my company, which are the American people? And what American people respond to, you can see it, what Trump is thinking. He's like, they respond to, we're getting screwed in this deal. We're paying for NATO, and all the people who are there and rely on us to bomb Russia in any scenario aren't paying their fair share. That's basically like Bernie Sanders language from a guy who might cause World War III, right? That's his marketing language. But essentially what he's trying to say is like, yo, let's I think he's doing some brinksmanship with the members of NATO to be like, yo, yes, I will pay some more money. and he'll get some more money and can declare a victory. Vladimir Putin, in the meantime, is like, how much do you mean the other thing? How much do you mean the like, we're all gonna go to war? Because Trump is basically the leader of NATO in many ways, because he's America's got the biggest army in NATO. And is he going, is Trump's basically, all his arguments are saying that we're not serious about like destroying Russia if they invade a NATO country. So I'm gonna keep doing that. That's the lay of the land.
Yeah, that's the lay of the land. The one thing I will say is when you're dealing with someone crazy, I think Vladimir Putin is clearly evil. Okay, you have Kim Jong-un, clearly evil. Trump is crazy and off balance, if you will. And somehow that is entirely unpredictable, even to a former KGB leader such as Putin. And so I wonder how much they will study and decide at some point. He doesn't know what he's doing. Yes, he's the commander in chief, but the generals don't trust him. He's not getting good intel. Maybe we strike now. Maybe now's the time. I'm not saying that's imminent. I'll give you the last word.
Well, Putin thinks that Trump is wildly predictable. And that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's like, all right, well, the guy on the other side of this negotiation is yelling at his own people. While he's doing that, I'm gonna exert more power. Because at the same time, he thinks that our key to appeasing our voters in our democratic system is to say, get the hell out of here. And Putin, who runs the Russia, which used to be a superpower when it was the USSR, is like, well, and just remember, any former empire still thinks it's an empire that's going to empire again. Yeah. That's why, Iran, US, UK, ISIS, like, that's why everybody's like, I'm going to be that empire again.
We will.
And this is an empire versus empire thing. So he's going to try to, expand his risk board.
I think it's a strong point. He's made it clear, almost like it's his life mission to get it back. Let's go back to the old USSR.
Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.